Hello and welcome. So today we've got a Christmas special for you. I'm not out fishing, so not causing much chaos, but I have got something that's slightly different, and it's called the FG knot, and it's a knot that has revolutionized my fishing over the last year, and is simply the most incredible knot I have ever used. And it's designed to attach the monofilament line to your braid line. Now I've used alberto knots, I've used albright knots. They've always had one weakness for me, and that's the line has always snapped at that point, and it's just never been great. 7-10 pounds they've snapped. So therefore the FG knot, since learning that, it's one knot that keeps pretty much 100% of your breaking strain. So it means that you can rely on that knot entirely, and it's really tight, it's really smooth, it flows through your eyelets and through your rods perfectly with no issues at all. So yeah, today I'm going to show you the FG knot, and hope you enjoy it. This is it. So first off, what I want to do for the FG knot, so this is my lovely braid that I have. It's jbraid. Does me quite well. I know there's hundreds of braids out there, but some work for you, some don't. But I'm using a bright yellow one just so it can be seen on camera here. And this is a light braid. This is my mono that I have, and I'm going to want to join these two together. So what I want to start doing, I'm just going to start off by having a clean bit of line here. So I'm just going to clip that off. So there we go. I've got a nice clean bit of mono. The first thing I want to do is I want to wrap my braid around preferably my pinky here, because it's just going to make it a little bit easier to work. So give it a nice few wraps over. So that way I can keep it taut. Having your line tense for this is quite important. The other one's attached to the bottom of my reel or your rod or what you want to have. So there we go, keeps it nice and tense. First thing I'm going to do is put my braid, my mono comes straight over the top like this, like a nice cross. You can see the end on this, the mono over there. So it forms a cross over the top of that line. Now what you want to do is you want to first thing over and under your braid and then pull it tight. Now do you see the braid is wrapped around the mono line like that? So it's over and under the braid. That creates the cross first off. Now everything else after this is really simple. What you want to do, you want to move this under the braid and over, and then put it tight. Now, one thing important, you want to make the braid go around the mono line, not the other way around. Again, under and over the braid, down on the top, and on top, under and over the braid, and then on the bottom. Now, you can see at this point, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. That is effectively how you create the knot. Just remember, one to the other, under and over the braid. Occasionally it can slip like that, so just remember, keep it tight, keep it tense, so the braid is tight the whole time, and making sure that it does the work around the mono line. And you keep going until you have about an inch. Remember, just to keep it tight like this. It's important that you have about an inch. If you've got a thicker line, the longer you want your thing to be, okay? If you've got a thin line, you can probably have this quite a bit shorter. Now once this is in place, look how smooth this is. This will just run straight over through your rod without any issues at all, through your eyes. Again, and let's just do a couple more to finish that off. Okay, so there we go. I mean, that's a little bit shorter than an inch, but so there, I'm just pulling it tight. Now, I'm finishing it by bringing it down the bottom. Now to finish this knot, it's super easy because pretty much the knot is actually done at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the mono up to the top of the braid like this, and then with my bottom, I'm going to undo the line. I'm just going to do 2 half hitches over the top. So over the top of that line, through, pull, and pull down tight onto that knot. I'm just going to do that again. So over the top. So remember, 2 half hitches finishes it off. And pull that through. Okay, so these are our 2 half hitches. Now, that is effectively the knot finished. That is your FG knot. But what we want to do is we want to close it down and we want to get it nice and taut. So what we do, grab our 2 ends as tight as possible and pull as humanly possible tight together. And you can see, I give it a bit of a helping hand by sliding one into the other. The tighter you pull, the tighter the braid gets wrapped around the line. Now, the thing is, what you'll probably notice is, unlike the other knots that will actually break off at various strains, this, and probably less than the breaking strain of your line, this will break off at the exact breaking strain of your line. I mean, I've already tested this. So for example, this line that I've got underneath, this is 38 pounds. I've hung pretty much 38 pounds on that and it hasn't broken at all. And that's how strong this knot is. So once you've got that, I would trust that knot with anything. So now I'm just going to clean off the knot. Use my seagull thing. Now I know you're going to tell me off for doing this, but I use a razor blade. The reason why I use a razor blade is because they're so sharp. Just get it close to as knot as possible. And then I'm just going to clip off that top of that line there. And that is my knot done. Again, give it a little bit of a test. Rub it through your fingers. And that is my FG knot. Absolutely perfect, tight, smooth. If you really want to. Nice and smooth and clean up the end. There we go. That is my FG knot. And I can tell you, my breaking strain that doesn't break. I hope you find that useful.